She just sat there like she had a choice. Listen, I was yelling at my screen. I just got done watching The Perfect Neighbor on Netflix, and watching how composed she was through the entire things shows you how deeply her superiority ran.
I would say if you have not watched The Perfect Neighbor on Netflix and you don't want a spoiler, please don't watch this video. But if you want to join in the conversation, go watch that documentary on Netflix and come back and join in this conversation. Hey beautiful people, how you are doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome to my channel. How have you all been? Hope you guys are doing great. So there's this Netflix documentary that is getting everybody talking, especially in the Black community. Everybody's talking about it, and for me, I feel like it's a must watch for everybody. I just watched it a couple of minutes, like today, this morning before filming this video, and I'll tell you it's a good one. It's not a long documentary, it's about an hour, 30 minutes ish, and I feel like it needs to be watched, especially when we talk about racial and how some people think that racism does not work or is not it does not exist in 2025, or how white privilege does not work. You will see all this play out in the highest state, how white privilege really works, how being a Black woman really works, and how even existing in a space with a Karen, an evil white woman, what it really entails. Like I said, I'm trying not to spoil it, but the reaction on this video is going to spoil it for you. So go watch the documentary and come join in this conversation. And for me personally, for something like that, what the documentary is about, a neighborhood that has a lot of children in that neighborhood. Is a lovely neighborhood where children go around, play, which I love that, because you could see that these children were genuinely interacting with each other, especially with the day and age where we are, where there's social media and kids no longer go out to play. That was not that neighborhood. That neighborhood, you could still see children go around, they play with each other, they ride their bicycle and all that. And that was the major problem in this documentary. Anyway, guys, go check out the documentary. I've said that like 1,000 times. Go check it out. Let's go check out people's reaction to this documentary. But before we check out people's reaction to the documentary, the white woman involved, there's an update. She's speaking to the news and talking, so we're going to get that, and people's reaction, we're going to get that too. So yeah, let's go check it out and then we'll come back and talk more.
The Florida woman convicted in the 2023 neighbor is speaking out from behind bars. Susan Lawrence claims 35-year-old Ajika Owens was banging on her door when she opened fire. Lawrence told our affiliate WCJB that she had argued with Owens' children for leaving their roller skates on her property. She claims that Owens and the kids had threatened to kill her, saying she was terrified when she through the locked door.
I told him that I had hit her. I said she was pounding on my door, she was threatening me, and I knew her because she said ow, and I thought I grazed her somehow, and I couldn't imagine where that shot went. I never even saw the shot. I mean, I was just so terrified. I remember I was shaking, I was crying. It was horrible.
Is Susan Lawrence capable of manslaughter?
No. And I'm so, it just makes me sick what happened. I just never ever thought in a million years this would happen. And it breaks my heart. I mean, I don't know, I can't take it back. I can't replace her. I can't say, you know, I did an apology to the family, and I'm still so sorry. And I know her kids are without a mom, and I know that it's been hard on her mom. You know, I know everybody's hurting. I wish I could change things.
Lawrence is serving 25 years for manslaughter.
And if you have not seen The Perfect Neighbor on Netflix, I would encourage you to go watch it. At first, I was going to say don't watch it because it just reinforces, you know, Black trauma. But I think that it's very, very important to go watch this documentary, because what I believe the documentary is trying to convey through a very heart-wrenching story is people use laws like stand your ground to reinforce hate crimes. It's very, very heartbreaking the way that this whole thing played out. I mean, the documentary, the whole thing is body cam footage. So obviously the police were called to this neighborhood a lot because a neighbor that they had kept calling on the kids that were running and playing in the open field that did not belong to any of them. All of them were renting homes in this area, and she was kind of like harassing the children, if you ask me. Allegedly, it seemed like she was harassing the children. Kept calling the police, kept having these complaints about the children, saying all this stuff, X, Y, and Z. It was clear from the time that the police showed up at her house at that night and she was yelling at them, she mentally had something going on, allegedly to me. And how it played out, it feels like she premeditated her neighbor, her black neighbor. It feels like she premeditated all of it. And I think it's good to be aware and bring awareness on Stand Your Ground, but I hate the fact that we had to watch it through their eyes. I mean, y'all, I cried. I had to stop watching it a few times because I couldn't stop crying, y'all. But yeah, this is just crazy. This is crazy.
We got to talk about how racist white people can't stand it when a single black woman moves in next to them, or a black family at that. Because you see, this documentary, this isn't a one-time occasion. This happens a lot, and I'm gonna share my experience. When I built my house in this neighborhood, I was single, and when I tell you I became the topic of conversation, the main character, these white people started with me in ways that I never thought that they would. They vandalized my property. They stuck signs in my yards to mess with me. They would try to stalk me and watch me on social media to see where I was at so that they could mess with my yard. Called the police when I had a gathering that hadn't even started yet. There were 2 people at my house when I get a knock on the door. For what? There's no noise. There's no music playing. Reported me to the HOA, I think about 20 damn times at least. And then it was the weird shit like, oh, I get a new car and now all of a sudden y'all all get new cars within the next 2 to 3 weeks. That's not a coincidence. Then the girl next door to me has the audacity to call my mom the B word, to call her out her name out of nowhere. At this point, I've been bullied by these people for years, and we had to call the cops, and they had to set them straight. If you ever talk to her again or say anything to her, you will be arrested. Because that's how much of an obsession they have to mess with me when I have done what to you except be black? I have done what to you except be black and successful? When I tell you, it burns their asses when a single black woman is living in a place that they don't think we should live, is doing the things that we shouldn't be able to do. Because how are you living next to me and you don't have a man in the house? Why are you driving a nicer car than me? Why are you dressing better than me? They cannot stand it. And it becomes dangerous, like this documentary, because all that was racism. Racism and the fact that you can't stand that the person living next to you does not look like you. Now, I know some of y'all gonna come, oh, not all white people are like that. No, I know. I know not all of y'all are like that. But it happens.
I ain't never cried and got mad so much until I watched The Perfect Neighbor on Netflix. Like, that shit was crazy. And the bitch needed more time than that. Way more time.
The way she just sat there like she had a choice. Listen, I was yelling at my screen. I just got done watching The Perfect Neighbor on Netflix, and watching how composed she was through the entire things shows you how deeply her superiority ran. Yeah. The way they coddled her during the interrogation, like they were afraid to upset her. If y'all don't yank her ass up, it definitely shows you how different some people get handled. Then the police had taken her back to her apartment to retrieve her things, and that neighbor came out clearly upset. And the officer said, "Can you please help me make my life easier? Sir, please." That was very insensitive. A woman lost her life. Kids lost their mother. The neighborhood is shaken. And honestly, there was one part I really felt like I could have went without seeing. That was towards the end when the father was about to tell the children the mom was gone. That was grief in its rawest form. I could feel the tears filling my eyes. It felt wrong seeing it, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
She looked up the stand your ground law. She purchased the gun in the midst of all the drama. She pulled only 2 minutes after making the initial 911 call. That wasn't fear, it was premeditation. Overall, it was a great documentary. Powerful, uncomfortable, but necessary to watch.
Last night I was watching a documentary, The Perfect Neighbor, and that shit had me in my kitchen crying. I was in my kitchen crying watching that damn documentary because, so let me give y'all a rundown of what it's about. It's about this neighborhood, and the neighborhood is mostly black people. Seems to be a very nice, wholesome neighborhood. Lots and lots of kids. Like the neighborhood has a lot of kids. And there's this one Karen in the neighborhood, right? And she is constantly calling the police on the children in the neighborhood. She is literally calling the police because the kids are being loud, and she's saying that they're trespassing on her property. However, they're playing in a lot. There's like an open lot next to her house that's not her property, and the kids are over there playing in the lot, and she's calling the cops for that. She calls the cops for, when I say everything, oh, the kids walk by her truck, or she's saying that the kids are trying to steal her truck. Mind you, some of these kids are like 11, 7, 6. Some of them are little tiny kids. And like, granted, yes, there are some that's like teenagers and stuff, but she calls the cops for everything that these children do. So she has gotten to it with the parents, of course. Mind you, she's racist, calling these kids the R word. She's calling them the R word. She is calling them all. She's clearly a racist woman. She is clearly a racist woman. And then of course she does the Karen thing when the cops show up. Now she's all like soft and docile, and then when the police are like, well, the kid said you did this or whatever, oh my god, I would never do anything like that, blah blah blah. And this is the thing that really pisses me off, right? I feel like this could have been prevented because the cops came out there so many times. The cops came out there to the point where the cops even went over to like the other people are like, hey, she does this all the time. You know, just don't engage with her. And it's like the cops constantly treat her, even though she's the one making the phone calls. It's the cops recognize that she's an agitator. The cops recognize that she's a problem. Like in one of the body cam footage, after he finished talking to her, he's like, psycho, because the lady is nuts. So it's like in the system, and mind you, this is in Florida. It's like, there needs to be some accountability for women, like for people that weaponize the police officers, weaponize the police, and go out of their way to put especially black and brown people in harm's way, because she is wasting resources constantly having these police officers show up for children playing. The cops are even telling her like, hey, like, yeah, I know the kids might be loud, but at the end of the day, they're kids, and at some point you have to be like, recognize you live next to kids, and we would rather, the cops is even saying, hey, we would rather them be in the neighborhood where they live, just playing and having fun and being kids, than either being inside, being on TikTok, or, you know, out doing stuff that they're not supposed to be doing, you know. And there was one officer, he was like berating the kids, like it's like, yeah, I'm trying to be, you know, devil's advocate. I'm trying to see from her side. You've been out there like 10 times, bro. What side of hers are you trying to see? So they tell the kids, you know, hey, don't engage with her. Don't antagonize her. If she does something to you, go get your mother. Go get your parents. So there was a situation where I guess the kids were playing. One of the boys left his iPad in that same lot, the lot that's by her house, left his iPad over there. The lady takes his iPad. So he goes over to her house like, hey, can I get my iPad? She's saying that it's not in there, blah, blah. And then she throws a roller skate at the boy. She throws a roller skate at the boy. And then he's like, I'm going to go get my mom. She says, go get her. She says to the little boy, go get your mother. So the little boy goes and gets his mom, right? Imagine you're a mom. You live in this neighborhood, right? You live in this neighborhood. You've constantly had this white woman calling the cops on your black sons, And we all know how dangerous that is in America. So now she throws something at your child. She stole your child's iPad. So what do? You go over to her house. She goes over, and the lady told him to go get his mom. So she goes over there, open up. The lady claims she told her to go away. So she goes, open up, come to the side. Woman. Through a locked door. The woman through a locked door. And claims self-defense. She's trying to use Florida's stand your ground laws. And she says that she was in fear for her life, that she said, I thought she was going to kill me, blah, blah, blah. So now the little boys, they see this happen to their mom. So now imagine the mental turmoil on this little boy that went to go get his mom to defend him as a mother should, and now his mom is shot. So the neighborhood calls the cops, right? The cops show up and they get her out of the house, and they immediately says to the woman, "You're not being arrested, you're being detained." They're treating her with so much
grace.
care and grace. You're not being arrested, you're just being detained. And she someone. The woman died that night. 4 kids. That lady had 4 kids. 4 kids lost their mother that night, and they're handling this lady with so much care. They do take her to go get interviewed or whatever. And then in the interview, they tell her that she died, and she's acting so, "Oh my God, this is just so awful." The fake, like, and mind you, she's calling little kids the N word, retard, like the R word, like she's calling the B word. She's calling these little kids every epithet you could think of. Every disgusting, vile thing you could think of, she's saying to children. So and then she tells the little boy, "Go get your mother." The little boy go gets his mother. And rather than being an adult and talking to the mother, like that you told him to go get, So then they release her. They don't even arrest her. They release her. They question her. They released her. And then the family, of course, I didn't even see this when it happened, but there was a whole bunch of protests and a whole bunch of stuff going on. And then eventually, so they're like, of course the family's upset. The family's like, "What the hell is going on? Like, why have y'all not arrested her? Like, it's like y'all know who shot." And they're like, "Oh, we're doing our investigation." And the family's like, "Well, if it was a black person, while the investigation is going on, they would be in jail. They wouldn't be free to roam the streets. Like, she's getting police escort back to her house so that she can grab her belongings." So then eventually they do their investigation, and then they find out that, so I guess when the incident happened with the little boy, she called the police, right? And said, "Oh, there's kids, being loud or harassing me or whatever. Then 2 minutes after that phone call is when she shot the mom. So she's saying that this black woman came to her house and did all these things, was banging on her door. Mind you, they live across the street. So you're telling me that little boy was over at your house. You called the cops. That little boy then goes to his house, tells his mother what happens, right? And when kids are upset, it takes a little bit of time. Tells his mother what happens, right? And then she get her clothes on, put her shoes on, and come across the street. And she's outside your door banging for God knows how long, claiming her she's banging for a really long time, and doing a whole bunch of stuff. And she claims, they're like, "Well, why didn't you call the police?" She's like, "I couldn't find my phone." But you went and found your. You told that little boy to come go get his mother so that you his mother, because it wasn't even 2 minutes in between phone calls. It wasn't even 2 minutes in between phone calls when she then calls the cops back and said, "Oh, I was scared for my life." But you know what? That works for the police all the time. Like, "Oh, I was scared for my life." And if the police can say that they were scared for their life and someone who was unarmed, why she can't say it when she's clearly not in any danger? But luckily for once, the system worked, and that hoe in jail. Yeah, right there.
Please go down in the comment section and let me know if you've seen this documentary and what you think about it. Go down in the comment section and share your thought. But please, as always, keep it respectful. You're on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we'll do it in a very respectful way. So go ahead, feel free, share your thought. I'd love to know what you guys think. Sorry guys, before I continue this video, I'm having difficulty breathing. So if you guys know something that I can use to clear my pipe way, it's like the medication I took is stuck in my throat, so I might stop in between conversation. So pardon me on that one, please. If you guys know something to take to ease my airway, please. There's something stuck here. So like, this is a very good documentary. So if you haven't seen it, I'll say go check it out, watch it, and come give your thoughts. For me, even though it was the way everybody say it was hard a hard watch. And this documentary, I would say prepare your mind. I remember when I was watching it initially, I was like, what am I watching? What am I watching? Until I realized what I was watching. And for me, it was very emotional that I literally screamed she died, because I did not imagine that it was going to end up that way. But this is where, like, this happened 2024. This is where, like, when people talk about how racism does not exist, how, oh no, it's not that deep, black people are overreacting when we come. No, this just literally show it. Like, this entire documentary was from the police cam, body cam, and you could see repeatedly with multiple eye witnesses from the area saying everybody, they don't even talk to, but they will come out and say the same thing that they saw. It's the same, that woman, she was the one common factor that keeps having issues with the children. The other person from the other apartment that is on the other side, close to the field the children play, does not even have a problem with the children playing there. The person does not complain that the children are making so much noise. So watching this documentary, it just shows you the amount of privilege certain group of people have, white people, not certain white people have, and even the way the woman knows her privilege as a white woman. Because you could, like I said, go watch that documentary. Like, you could tell when they eventually said she was under arrest, you could tell she said no, she's not doing it. And the way she said that no, it with so much conviction and confidence, like, no, I'm not doing this, I can't do this. Like, she had a say. And the way the police officers, they were all pandering to her, like, oh my God, you don't have we have to take you clinical, you have to stand up, we have. Hey. Sometimes the laws I'm seeing sometimes in America sometimes just make me fear they catch me. Like, I'm scared of that country. Because how can you tell me that all the officers that was called to that area, to that street, knows that the woman is the one with the problem, and yet they did not advise the resident to have a restraining order against her to protect the children and the parents? Because it was a repeated cause. There was a time she ran through somebody's gate. She formed, oh, I'm sorry. And the officer is like, I'm not, no, I'm not talking. And the officer was like, cool, I'm not, don't talk, fine. And they're like, oh no, okay, I want to talk now. I took my medication. The manipulation. And I know this is not all white people, but as a black woman, I have come to realize that, especially when it comes to the Karens, is that just be very, very careful with them. They may smile and come out all sweet. And the truth is that the way some white people weaponize their whiteness, they are evil on the inside, and then they come like, oh no, I was fearful for my life. Are you kidding me? And people were like, oh, she's an old white. Shh. I watched that documentary with so much. What just even killed me is how those children, even they said it in the documentary, how those children are going to play that incident over and over in their head for the rest of their life. Realizing that, oh, if I did not leave that part there, my brother won't have come to defend me. I won't have gone to call my mother. You can just imagine the two boys, our two sons, how that will play in their head. They even said, one said, this older one said he blamed himself that he could not give CPR. The younger one that has the tab blamed himself for forgetting his tab on the field. Just because your children are playing and your body, they sight you. You must be a different type of evil for that to happen, that children are playing. And I feel like the neighbors should have known that somebody that cannot, I get it, children is not for everybody. Like, I like my peace. I'm a child-free woman. I love my peace. But not when children are outside playing, the sound of children laughing and cackling and just having fun as kids. Where you were a kid at one point in time, it irritates you. It bothers you so much that you have to call the cops over and over again. And why I actually believe that this was racially motivated, there was a one time he said that the little boy, the same little boy that left his tab on that on the field that she took, he said the little boy was trying to put his dog on a truck, when the dog is literally bigger than that boy, and she has this little boy's picture on her phone. There, see that was the other kids there from black, white, Mexican. There were a lot of kids mixed. It was a lovely neighborhood, a lovely neighborhood. But it has that boy. You do know that she has a thing for the black family. That single mother, that single black woman there, she has a thing. And oh Lord. But one thing I was very happy about is the fact that justice, like, she's in jail. And the fact that she's out here talking about, oh, I didn't intend. She did. She wanted to, she did it intentionally. She knows exactly what she was doing. Like Frankie said, she planned, it was a premeditated thing, and that's why she took the pad, went inside, because she knows the little boy will come for that pad, and told the boy, go get your mother. And the boy did exactly what the police officer told them to do. Don't confront her. If there's any issue, go get your parents. And look at what happened. And this is why I feel like when it comes to situations like this, and I know American law sometimes can be very like, once the aggressor is being identified, then the aggressor should be given something, maybe asked to leave the neighborhood, because these are the expense, because she could have shot the child. She could have done so many other things. And the way they treat her after the first shooting will just tell you that, see, this life no balance. Especially for a black and white person, it's not balanced. The way we navigate life is totally different. Because to be a black woman that shot a white woman, it will not be that way. And that's why, like, I want black people, especially black women, to be aware of their blackness, because a lot of time we want to say we don't see color, let's just live as ones. The truth is that there are some of them that does not want to live as one with us. They don't like us because of our skin color. They can't stand us. Oh, I was fearful for my life. She remained in jail. Anyway, guys, go ahead and share your thought about this video. Feel free to share your thought, but please keep it respectful. Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go ahead, feel free, share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push up my content for more people to see. And that'll be you supporting this channel and this girl here. So go and do that. Subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys in my next video. Deuces.